Hello homeschoolers, my name is Laurel. Welcome to the land of Kakiak. If you're new here, I homeschool 3 boys from home using the Robinson curriculum as the base of our education. Today's video is a prep and chat, and let's get into it. I had so many things I wanted to show you, and none of them is like a blow you out of the water thing, but to me they're all just like a little delight. And I'm just gonna show it all to you. Okay. So the big thing I've been working on today is Saturday. Just so you know, I love homeschool so much. We do it year round, 6 days a week. And on the one day we have off, I'm usually in the schoolroom, like prepping stuff and planning stuff and making videos for you guys. So it's Saturday, I was in here prepping some stuff. So in my last planning video, and I'll link that down below for you, I showed you my updated, my book list. Can you see that? So Kakiak Academy book list, that's our school. I went through, so I had combined the RC book list with the Easy Peasy readers. So there's a system for that in there, but I went back through today with my highlighters, and you can see I have a little key up here for myself, and a gray dot was a book that I owned a hard copy of, and a red dot was a book I had printed, like it's had a printed version. And then I went through and I made little boxes I boxed in to let myself know what assignment that my student could do with each one of these books, right? I've got like a bunch of them. So, and I've got it kind of approximated by grade level. Anyway, so that's what I did today. I went through, I did all that, took a look at what kind of assignments do I have, and I noted those accordingly. So I'm just going to show you really quick what those assignments are. This is what I've been prepping today. Just a lot of printing and all that kind of stuff. So starting off in the earliest grade levels are lap books. So I made this one just as like a demo for you guys a while back. And I'll leave that link to that video down below too in case you want to take a closer look at this. But you know, before kids can really write, you need to have something that they can do, and you might have to do a little writing for them and help them, but before they're really like writers, you know, but they're still in their books. And I wouldn't do a ton of those because they're time consuming. I did do that for, what did I say? But like the Tale of Jolly Robin or the Tale of Solomon Owl, either one of those would make great lap books. Although I do have my, my study alongs for those too. But you could use those more for science. So that's kind of how we use those for like a science curriculum while we were reading those books. The comic book summary guide, which you can also incorporate into lap books. So for some of the books, I assigned this as the comic book, you know, book picture notes and comic summary guide. And you could introduce this like 1st through 2nd grade. Although I think it'd be great even for like a 3rd grader. And it comes with instructions. Basically, they're making a comic for each chapter and maybe having, you know, a caption or the chapter title or number at the top. And it's training them up towards taking chapter notes. And it's also making them pay attention to what they're reading, because they're gonna have to recall it to recap it in a picture, or maybe like the highlight of the chapter in a picture. And then if they would like at the very end, right, there's a storyboard they can do, and then they can just narrow it down to like the top key events, and they can make just a mini comic. So I have that assignment for a few of them in there. That pairs really well with the lap books because you can cut out all the comics and put them into your lap book, which if you watch the video I'm going to link down below, you'll see how we did that. So that would be like my main, you know, book assignment up until we hit the Christopher Columbus book, which is the 12th RC book, and that one actually comes with a test. So I did go through, and anything that had a test in the Robinson curriculum, I pre-printed all the tests, at least one set. Look at it, like that. I want to say, how many books is this? So it looks like about 25 of the books have tests that are written for them within the curriculum. So I'm going to take advantage of that so they get some practice with test taking. I'm not sure if I may or may not have them do like chapter notes with the book. plus the test, or maybe I'll just have them do the test. I don't know. I think the kids will get bored if I have them always do the exact same assignment, so I want it to be able to change and have them adapt. But every once in a while, it's nice to have no assignment and just take a little test at the end. And they all come with answers. So that's in the Robinson curriculum, and that's where I'm pulling these from. I tried to look online for like study guides or like book tests to do. I didn't really find anything. Like I was looking for something for like free, and I really didn't find anything because like maybe for the other books. But if anybody has found something like that, leave it in the comment section so we can check it out. So yeah, it's just multiple choice, and just so they are getting, because we don't do a lot of testing here, and so they get a little bit of testing practice. I think that's good for them. More things to use with the RC books would be the elementary reading journal from Not Consumed Ministries. I have not used this yet. I just like to get my plans all laid and ready to go. This is for, you'd pick either the paperwork, a journal entry for a nonfiction or a fiction book, and then some of them just say any book. So here's one for nonfiction. It says, I'm wondering, right? You put the book title, the pages you read that day, the date, what you think of it. I'm wondering, and the question before reading, question they had while reading, and the question after reading. They do start introducing them to language arts terms, or reading terms like fact or fiction, right? I like that. They are asking them in this one, like, what was the setting, right? So these are things that, I do talk about, but it's kind of nice to have that. Like that they're included in this day. They ask them, write 3 verbs from today's reading, write 3 nouns, write 3 adjectives, draw one, get informed. This is for nonfiction. So they ask them to record facts, questions, answers, and responses. So anyways, I think it's neat, and I have assigned that to some books. Hi, this is Editing Laurel. I'm editing, and I just realized I never told you guys what assignment I do when they're reading out of the Easy Peasy readers. My plan is just to have them notebook. The Easy Peasy readers come with like reading comprehension questions, and they're just in the reader, which is really convenient. So I just plan on having the kids notebook those. Sometimes it gives them instructions to like narrate back, tell a sibling or a parent like what you read about, and especially in the really early years. So I'm just going to have them notebook or do those oral exercises with me. I can't believe I totally forgot to mention that. Anyways, that's all. Back to the video. Okay, my next assignment is my book notes and summary guide. This comes in somewhere in 3rd through 5th grade. I've showed this one before. Okay. Looks like this. Comes with instructions, and then this chapter notes page. You fold it in half so that they can use it as a bookmark, and they can just jot down their notes as they read. Then there is like a book information page to fill out at the end, and then they write like a 1-paragraph summary and turn it in. We've had a lot of success. This has been very good for my middle schooler. He started using it 4th grade, and then he's now in 6th grade. He was still using it in 6th grade, and I've recently moved him on to, I'll show you, the middle school reading journal from Not Consumed Ministries. So again, it's broken up into either nonfiction or fiction. So nonfiction is split up into biography or autobiography, right? They have a journal for that, and it's 14 days. So I think what they would want you to do, a student to do, is to have 14 reading days, and to just divide the number of pages in the book by 14, and then they know they have to read that many pages a day, and then that's what they work with. That's what they're responding to for each day's prompt. So this would be great, I think, even for like your writing component, if you want to do this. It's asking them on the first day, they will do things like say the name of the book, who's it about, who wrote it, when was it published, that kind of stuff. And they're asking on day 2, what do you know about the setting of the story? Try to list 5 facts, right, about the setting. Is it a place you have ever been or would like to go someday? Why or why not? What are some big events that occurred during this time period? In what time period does this person live? includes both time and location of a story. That's the definition of setting. And then the day 3 is narration. Next day is connection. Day 5 is questioning. Day 6 is application. Day 7 is worldview. Day 8 is character. Day 9 is conversation. Day 10 is vocabulary. Day 11 is modeling. Day 12 is evaluation, and day 13 is synthesizing, where they get to choose an activity to apply and process what they have learned. So they could do a report an event in the subject's life as if you were a news anchor that witnessed the scene, create a speech for a ceremony honoring this person, create a movie poster or a mural that creatively depicts character traits, events, and images from their life, create a poster-sized comic strip or storyboard for this book. Well, they've already had practice with my comic assignment, haven't they? Create a website for this person. Be sure to include the important facts from their life as well as any achievements. Cool, huh? And then day 14 is writing. People have influence in this world. In 1 to 3 paragraphs, describe the influence your person had in the world. Describe how their life was affected by world events. Use details to support your answer. I think this is a really good assignment, don't you? I love it. Okay, so some other areas they have are Christian lifestyle and leadership, money and business, and informational text. 4 options for nonfiction. Let's talk about fiction. And I don't know, I don't think I have to say this, but I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just thought this was really cool. I thought this was a good fit. And I want to say each one of these journals, they're not consumed reading journals. I want to say I got the digital format was about 20 bucks each. But for me, that's $60. I've got 3 kids and to be able to use that all from elementary through high school I thought, since RC is a literature-based curriculum, I was like, oh, this is worth it, right? So for fiction, so the pre-reading day, so they categorize their book, like what genre, what are your expectations for the book, and do you have any predictions? And they write down the title, the author or publisher, number of pages, the finish date that they expect to finish, the number of pages to read each day, and then they just go through. First day is introduction, so setting, character, and events. Day 3, they're going to focus on a character. 4, location. Day 5, time. Day 6, plot. Day 7, narrator. Day 8, viewpoint. Day 9, connection. Day 10, purpose. Day 11, character, another character section. Day 12, worldview. Day 13, vocabulary. Day 14, tone. Day 15, mood. Day 16, plot. Day 17, vocabulary 2. Day 18, wrapping it up. Day 19, application. And then day 20 is writing. So they're going to, in 1 to 3 paragraphs, compare and contrast the characters in your book. Use details to support your conclusions. Below is a sample outline. So I think that was journal A. Journal B, for the fiction, because they have 2 versions, is, I think it's pretty much the same, except at the end for the writing component, they say in 1 to 3 paragraphs, analyze the main conflict and resolution in the book you are reading. So things to think about: is the conflict realistic? Is the resolution realistic? Can you relate to the conflict and resolution? What does the Bible say about this conflict and the resolution? They might need help with that one. Okay, so, it's only about a half page, each day's writing prompt, so it's very doable. Do you want to see the high school reading journal? So, sorry, I just made some notes to myself on here. It's got the same kind of idea as the middle school one. There's a nonfiction section and a fiction section, and you can just print out whichever ones you need. So just match them up. I'm just matching them up with the book list as I go. So they've got the biography or autobiography, the Christian life and leadership, money and business, informational text for the nonfiction journals. And they just ask for a little bit more, right? It's the same idea. They've just leveled up to the high school level. So day 2, setting, right? They're asking a little bit more for it this time. It says, what do you know about this time period? Do some research to help you understand what was happening in the world during this time and how it may have impacted the story. Grab a history book. What do you know about the places or locations in this book? Do research about the place in the story to help you understand what was happening in this person's life. Day 3, narration. Why do you think this book was written about this person? What do you want to know about this person? On a scale of 1 to 5, how well is the reader drawn into this life story? Explain. Who narrates this story? The subject, an acquaintance of the subject, a friend of the subject, family of the subject, or other. So they're just a little more, it's more detailed, but basically the same thing. Let's take a look. What's the difference with the fiction? So kind of the same thing with the fiction. They do the pre-reading day where they, what genre is it? What's your expectations and predictions? Day 2, introduction, setting, character, and events. How does your story open? How does the author pull you into the story or get your attention? How do these events relate to the setting or characters? 3 is characters. What characters have you been introduced to? Are they major characters or minor characters? Label them. And it gives some information, like if they didn't know what major or minor was, it defines it for them. So it is doing some teaching for you. What season does the story take place in? Connection is interesting. It says list at least one connection under each category. Also be sure to include specific examples from your book. So there's text to self, text to text, and text to world. And again, they define those terms for them. I think this is a great idea. My middle schooler used the middle school journal for his last book, and he liked it. Yeah, he said he wanted to keep using them, so good. So I will leave the link to those down below for you. That's what I was prepping all day. I was doing all my color organizing in my book list, and I was printing all that stuff out, and now I'm just going to go put it in my little filing system so I know where to find it when I need it, or the kids will know where to pull it from. Okay, you want to talk about something else I had on my mind this week? Books. I know this is a shocker because homeschoolers never dream about, drool over books. I got a new book. Oh, isn't it beautiful? So actually, Everett read This Was Family Robinson. This is the only book so far on the list that he asked me, Mom, can I read it? Can I read it more? Like he wanted to read more than his assigned reading time, which was so lovely to hear. And so he really liked this book. I just printed out from the RC files, but it was kind of beat up. I would really, really like to own hard copies of all the books, I decided. And I saw on the Facebook page, on the official curriculum Facebook page the other day, I feel like I've heard the admin say this more than once because people asked that they're working on getting like physical copies of books to sell, of their list. I am dying for that to happen. Like, that's the stuff my nerd dreams are made of. I want books, and I would like them all to be uniform size. Okay, here comes my type A. I'd like them to be a uniform size so I can put them all perfectly together. They look like a matching set on my bookshelves. I'm dying for them to do this. Please do it. So I'm like caught in this, like a bit of mind torture. I want to buy hard copies of the RC books, but I don't want to buy them if RC is going to be offering them because I would rather buy them from RC, and I would like to buy them all from the same publisher so that they all have like the same dimensions or the same look, I'm hoping, because I bought the Henty collection from RC and I love it. And I love that they're all, the one thing I do wish they were matte. Like this book is like matte and theirs are shiny that I have. And so I don't know if the Robinson curriculum pays attention to these channels, but if you are, can I request a matte cover, please? This book is beautiful, and it is an illustrated classic. It is by, what's this publisher? Seawolf Press. I'll leave a link to their Amazon storefront in the description box because they have a bunch of really beautiful looking books in there. There were definitely some that were on the RC list, but I don't want to buy them if RC is going to offer them. I don't want to buy anything if RC is going to offer them, but if they're not going to offer them for like 2 years or something, I'm not a patient woman. So I'm hoping that will happen soon. I don't know. Okay. But I do love this book, and I don't regret buying this one. It's beautiful, and the illustrations are, it's just got tons of illustrations in it. it just really brings the book to life. And it's nice paper. It's a really nice quality book. I bought mine, it's used, but I mean, barely, who could tell? Okay, so I was excited about this book, and it was Everett's favorite so far. I am going to put all my stuff away and go take my husband out on a date. So I'll talk to you guys soon.